What's up, y'all? This is Matthew from Pillars Gaming, and I'm a little bit miffed. Alright, so here's the deal. I've recorded this audio, the narration, the post-com for this, like, 3 times now. Yeah, so the reason why is because when I was trying to record the live commentary, what happened was somehow the audio failed. No, I know what happened. My mic wasn't on because I am utterly just unaware of things. Like there's a little button here that says high, low, and off. I think I should be able to read that. But anyways, this is post-com. So none of this, like, I'm just going to be commenting on the game, I guess, and explaining myself a little bit, what the hell happened, you know. And this is lore on the Black Knight Shield. I'll let you read that. I'll explain stuff about the Black Knights, like they were... Oh, I'll explain it later. But first, let me explain myself with this recording thing. So, I recorded, for the first time, the live audio. Did not work out. I recorded a narration for another time, but that time it failed to record, and the reason why was because, crap, what did I do? I clicked out of it. That's right. I pressed cancel instead of save, and I just got rid of the audio. It was my fault entirely, that one. The second time was the editing software's fault. So what happened was, I had saved it, all the audio I recorded for that episode. I was like, oh my god, this is the third time I've done this. I was like complaining the entire video for it. And then I get to the end, it's done, and I check it out, right? I check out the audio for it. I listen to it because for some reason I couldn't hear it on Movie Maker, which is the editing software I use. Oh, big deal! I use Movie Maker. Well, I'm such a noob. Oh god, or noob. God, that's why would I use noob? Use the more professional term, Matthew. Use scrub. That's a better term to use. So anyways, cheering up a little bit, but seriously, God, guys, I recorded it for the third time, which was, I recorded the narration for the second time, but it was the third time overall recording audio. So, just post-com audio, but, oh god, it didn't work because I didn't have the right codec picked for my audio recording for my mic, and I realized that the first time I tried to do post-com, it wouldn't have worked either. So that's great. And so this is the fourth time I'm doing this, and it's really not all that fun. We're going around right now. I'm parrying people with my hand because I'm trying to prove that I don't need a target shield. I don't know why I was doing this, but I was trying to prove that I didn't need a target shield to parry people. I was like, hey man, I don't really need a target shield. So going around parrying stuff and killing it with riposte, and it's getting us a bunch of extra souls to the overkill bonus. Really just wasting time. This is really not at all evident or relevant to the video at all. It really isn't. Really pissed off about all this unprofessionality that's going on. But we're gonna go through here, and I'm gonna try to cheer up about this. This is the fourth time I've done it, and it's like an hour and a half wasted. I even mentioned this in the second narration, that I was like, oh my god, I wasted an hour. I wasted an hour on this. Are you serious? Like, seriously. An entire hour. Now it's an hour and 30 minutes. It's just really bad. But, anyways, so we're going to go back to the Undead Church, if I can ever figure out how to get back. Because I'm just screwing around, just killing stuff, like, you know. I almost fall off this, because I'm, like, the camera's freaking out for some reason. The audio is also desynced. I should have mentioned that earlier. The audio is also desynced. I'm sorry about that. It's going to change in, like, 30 seconds. Because I started a new clip. Because I edited... I stopped recording for a second to go deal with my dog. So, yeah. And now the audio is synced again. No troubles at all. And that wasn't really important in the first place. I honestly could have just removed most of that because nothing of interest just happened. I was just going around parrying people. But that was a good place. That's a good place for me to stop talking about the whole audio issue, and it was a good way for me to vent about that because now I can stop talking about that because now we're on to some real gameplay, going through the Undead Church. So we're in the Undead Church, and before we go kill the boss, we're going to go pick up this item over here, which is called a Firekeeper Soul. If I could ever figure out how to climb up there, and pick up that item, dude, go up there. Come on, go. It's not that complicated. Go. There you go. So I pick it up. That's a Firekeeper Soul, and I read its description, please. Thank you. Let's go over here. It should be down way down here. So I read the description. It says, each Firekeeper is a corporeal manifestation of her bonfire and a draw for the humanity which is offered to her. Her soul is gnawed by infinite humanity and is used to reinforce precious Estus flasks, blah, blah, blah. We used to regain humanity and we're fire to be, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the important stuff from that to take is that some keywords, her. A Firekeeper is only allowed to be female. Now, is there a reason for this? Yes. The reason for this is the Firekeepers are supposed to represent purity, and most of the, it's kind of hard to, it's supposed to be there's there's no actual reason for it in game, but it's just From's decision. And the reason why From made the decision to make it this way is because young women are particularly representative of I mean, it's hard to explain. Nubile. Okay, just talk about the word nubile. If you don't know what that word means, okay, it was kind of awkward to say. If you don't know what that word means, if you understand why that's kind of hard to say on video. If you know what that word means, it means basically healthy, able to bear children. Basically, the purity. A Firekeeper needs to be
collected bit by bit
sort of
from corpses.
Hard to explain. Really, it is.
You can butter
the Firekeeper soul is not about infinite humanity,
and the quick coveting.
because I think it's sort of like a humanity. It's sort of like the children. It's a child gravitating towards its mother. Sort of. We just talked to Crespro for no reason, but we're gonna go talk to Anastasia. It's supposed to be sort of like children. I would imagine like children gravitating towards their mother and having a distinct, an instinct to feel the care of their mother. Or, I'm not wording this well, but nubile is the word for this. All Firekeepers are supposed to be representative of sort of like a mother figure or a purity figure. An example of real life, well, in religion at least, would be the Virgin Mary. So you could say, like, if what they're trying to do is imply is that nobility and purity is the thing. Maybe it's supposed to be extended to virgin women. You could say is a possibility that all Firekeepers are virgin women because they're supposed to represent purity. And the reason why is mostly in religion, it's not really. In most religions, it's not seen as impure for a man to have been with a woman, to have had sex with a woman, but for a woman, it's sort of like a break in pureness, if that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't. But I'm not very good at making sense in the first place. It's kind of a weird talk about. It's really deep topic, but it's also really kind of awkward to talk about as well. So yeah, a couple of sexual themes there. We'll get off that for a little bit because It just kind of make me uncomfortable. It's just not something you want to share with your viewers. I don't know why. It's not really that bad, but we're going to a new area. It's coming up from here, really. There it goes. New Launder Ruins. So this place has a lot of association with the Dark Wraiths. I'll say the Dark Wraiths, even though, I mean, I would say that's obvious, but we haven't gone far enough in the game for that to be obvious yet. It's not obvious per se, as it is it will eventually become true. That they're related, Dark Wraiths and Cath. But I should have, if I gotten a cracked red eye orb, I should have explained this earlier. That cracked red eye orbs are items of Cath that you use to invade other people. So yeah, so we're going up through here, and we're going to go fight ghosts. Not really fight them, but rather get our asses handed to them. And we're trying to get a Firekeeper soul. That's what it is. Okay. So yeah, we're running through here, through New Launder. There's a ghost right there. We can't attack it because even though I just showed you the lore on the Transient Curse, I did not use it. The lore on the Transient Curse is like, it's an arm of the undead, of an undead who's been cursed, and they died cursed. You can use that. You can pop that, and it will make you pseudo-cursed, sort of. As I guess how I would describe that. Is it makes you pseudo-cursed. You're not actually cursed. You just have the positive effects of being cursed, which is that you can interact with ghosts. That's the only positive effect. But obviously, there's nothing good about being cursed. If you're normally cursed, there's nothing good about it, except for the ability to talk to ghosts, or not talk to ghosts, fight ghosts. But yeah, so we're not going to go back there. We're not going back for humanity or souls or whatever. We're actually going to continue on with the game. What we're going to do is we're going to head on back up to. No, what am I doing? Oh yeah, the Firekeeper soul. That's right. The whole reason we came over here, man, Matthew. Come on, think before you speak. Yeah. So Estes Fossil's reinforced, and we're gonna go back up to the Undead Church. So now what we're going to do is, I believe we are going to go kill a special enemy real quick, and that enemy is the Channeler. And you might have noticed plagued us. Well, actually, no, I don't think I showed the Channeler to you last time. Well, screw it. You're already hearing about it. So I might as well continue. The Channelers are sort of magicians and minions of Seath that seek out young women to take their humanity. Yeah, they seek out women to take their humanity. So why would a Channeler be here? You saw the Firekeeper soul, right? Now everything's sort of coming together. So the Seath is seeking out young women. You know, he basically only experiments with maidens, and I mean, it's hard to find an explanation why he does, but he just does. He only experiments with young women, maidens, and sort of linking the whole sexuality thing together and sort of adding more proof to it, I guess you would say. But yeah, Seath's whole deal is, I think he's basically his whole deal is he's trying to find Firekeepers. I think that was the thing, what he's trying to do. I'm not quite sure if that was his entire goal, but I believe as part of his goal was to collect Firekeepers. Well, not exactly sure why. I'm trying to think of a reason why in the lore. I'm not prepared for this. I'm just kind of burnt out. Like I said, I'm burnt out after recording all that crap. But yeah, So Seath is sort of. Seath is something we haven't gotten to yet. He's not a character that we can really talk about yet because we don't have enough information on him to really talk about him at this point in the game. But just know for now that he is a major component. He's one of the major lords in the lore. He also has a very, very major role in immortality. Actually, mortality, actually. In certain ways, I just died there. His mortality, the way he influences mortality is going to come from a place in the game called the Painted World later in the game. You may be confused why. And it's because he is responsible for a sort of a monstrosity named Priscilla, who is actually supposed. I mean, it's a monstrosity, but it's actually supposed to be a. Priscilla is actually famed to be extremely beautiful, but Priscilla is a half dragon. She is Seath's daughter, actually, and daughter of Seath and Guinevere. If you've never played the game over, again, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm sorry. I'm trying to get in heavy with the lore before we can go up and talk about Kareem and some of the other areas in the game. God, my throat's kind of killing me. Yeah, so Priscilla is an interesting part of the story when as undead seek a way out of immortality. Like, they don't want to be immortal anymore, and they want to be able to die, or they want to prolong the human generation and give them the ability to die. Well, as she was so, I guess you could say Seath contains within him the genes to create a dragon that is mortal, I guess. But I can't remember how it was explained to me, but basically Priscilla is a dragon, and the dragons are normally they are unaffected by the undead curse, which makes Priscilla special. Because the dragons are unaffected by the undead curse, it means they can die. But also, it's combined with the fact that Priscilla is not an actual dragon, because normally a dragon would be immortal. Normally, a dragon would be immortal. However, Priscilla is not immortal. She's only a half dragon, and not only that, she was born of Seath, who is already not immortal. He's actually a mortal dragon because he's scaleless. He doesn't have stone scales and immortality. So he is also destined to die. But he still has the ability to resist curse.
Could you help me?
So Priscilla is half human, sort of. I mean, Guinevere is a goddess, but half human, I guess you could say. This is a law track of Kareem, by the way. I'm trying to figure out how to get how to press enter so I can get rid of the mystery key dialog box, but yeah. So
Thank you. Yes.
Priscilla is
I am Knight
the key. It was seen as the key in everyone's way out of immortality and being able to die again, because the undead, like everybody, like yourself, are plagued by immortality, which is a weird way to put it. Plagued by immortality, you keep coming back to life, and you just want one day you want your life to end, right? You want everything to come to its natural end, which we'll get into the implications for Nito later, much later, but that has a lot to deal with Nito. To do with Nito. A lot to do with Nito. But I think we'll talk about that later. I guess for now we'll just say it makes Nito sad when things don't die. Yeah. So you're an undead immortal, right? So you seek out Priscilla to have. It's a very sexual episode. I'm very sorry for this. Don't mean to like get all into this, but to have your way with her, so to speak, so you can start a new generation of mortal human beings that are like 1/4 dragon or whatever, and then eventually, as humans keep having more and more children, eventually they will be all mortal, all mortal again, and they'll be like, after more and more generations happen, there'll be less and less dragon, and eventually, the part of them that's dragon will eventually just cease to exist. So, but that's the reason why they're going to seek them out, is to get with Priscilla and start a new generation of humans. That's what some people theorized was Priscilla was a way of returning to mortality. So, yeah. I don't really know how to conclude that, other than just saying that we went really far away from the original topic, which was Firekeepers, and we extended it to Seath, and it wasn't random either. It was actually all connected because of the channelers being connected with Seath, because they are Seath's eyes actually, and they because Seath is actually blind by himself, but he uses channelers to see. And he kidnaps Firekeepers, but okay, so I guess we're done talking about that. Let's go and talk about some different things, like what's going on here. We're about to go fight the boss, and I need to talk about Kareem for a little bit, because Kareem is a very interesting place, especially for what's going on here. Like when you talk about Dark Souls and its lore, you always need to talk about everything's location and vicinity, with like how close things are with each other. Even just like in the physical world of Dark Souls, how close things are, not like metaphorically, just like literally how close they are. And there are two people from Kareem who are extremely close in the same place, basically. That's Lautrec and another NPC which we're going to meet very soon. They're both from Kareem. Lautrec, and they both seem to have a similar personality. Sort of a shifty, not really sure if I like you sort of personality. Like, dude, not quite sure. I think you're shady kind of guy. Yeah, that kind of personality. But yeah. So we're going to get to talking about Kareem. Kareem. There are a couple things you need to know about that. Lautrec is carrying an item called a ring called the Ring of Favor and Protection, made by Fina, the goddess of those things, which I just talked about, favor and protection. Which I think is actually protection and love, or something specifically like that. Yeah, I'm about to go up here, and I get so confused when I go up here. I go up here with my rapier. I'm like, okay, I'm going to climb this ladder. I'm going to go summon Solaire, and I'm going to go summon Lautrec, because you can do that after you've talked to Lautrec and you've exhausted his dialogue. But I go up here. I'm like, all right. Go up here, and then I walk over his summon sign. I'm like talking about like, hey man, hey look, you can summon Solaire. Isn't that cool? Blah, 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 whatever. So I still haven't, at this point, I still haven't clicked him. I don't know why. I'm a freaking idiot. Click on him. Click on him. Click on him. Okay. Summon the guy, please. Thank you. So, I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, hey, let's go summon Lautrec. But there's, the platform's not actually up there. I go up there again, realizing, like, oh, wait, I must have just fallen off the platform. No. The platform is there. And then I'm like, wait, shit, it's not. And then, and then I come down here, and then, the platform, this is where the platform actually is. It's one floor down. Lautrec's supposed to be there, but he's not. his summon sign is, at least. And I didn't summon him, so I'm like, okay, that's weird, awkward. I was gonna show you guys that, but I guess not. And Solaire just walks over my head. I love that. And now we go fight the boss. Solaire's coming up. He's taking forever, because, of course, because I went down there because I was confused. And now we're about to fight the boss. And do something very story important to the game. If Solaire would stop taking his sweet-ass time, we'd be good through the fog gate already. Of course, I already know this because I've seen this video like 3 times because I'm trying to record this narration again. Traverse the white light, please. Thank you. Alright, so now we're going to go fight the gargoyles. Alright. Keep going, and there it is. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a statue with a bell in it and stuff. There's some gargoyles. There's some axes on their tails, huh? Oh. There's a gargoyle. Oh, it started moving. That's different. Oh, gargoyles aren't supposed to do that. No! Gargoyles aren't supposed to do that. Gargoyles aren't supposed to be alive. No. Alright, let's fight. Okay. So, yeah. I get my ass handed to me by the bell gargoyles. The only reason I get the tail is because Solaire is amazing, and he's an awesome shot. He took down the bell gargoyle's tail with a single lightning spear. And now we have the tail, and so now what we're working on now is trying to stab this dude, but I keep getting hit, so... Seriously. I got knocked down so many times. I almost die. I come so close to dying. It's not here, but I'm Jesus. I was getting knocked around like I'm somebody's punching bag. I was convinced I was gonna die there, but I actually rolled past him. I was so close. But it's still not the point where I was convinced I was going to die. It's actually around the point where I'm almost done killing the other bell gargoyle, and I roll all the way of that fire, getting close. It's right here. This is the point where I'm like convinced that I'm about to die. I have so little health left. I'm stabbing him. I'm like, dude. I felt like that one was incredibly close to me, but I healed off, so now it's no longer an issue. I'm probably not going to die if I take one of those, so not really worried. I come in, and I swing. I run in, and I kill him with the most badass fashion ever. I do a running sprint attack. That's so redundant. Oh my god. I hit him 4 times. He kills Solaire, which I'm very miffed about that. And I stab him once, and it's over. I wanted to summon Solaire, particularly because I wanted to do this with him. Because if I didn't, I would never get the chance to do it again. And if I did it by myself, then it would have been just like, I mean... It would have been horrible, first of all, because I wouldn't have had a distraction to fight for me, simultaneously fight for me, and also get hit so I don't have to get hit. It sounds kind of horrible to say it that way, but it's true. He got hit so I didn't have to get hit. And, yeah, so... Kill the gargoyles like that. We didn't get the gargoyle helm. The gargoyle helm. But that's all right. We'll get it sometime later. We are also. This is a good This is a good time as ever to mention the fact that. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna shut up. This is the bell thing. Beautiful, right? Alright. So, we rung the first Bell of Awakening. So, the first part of the early game, the first half of the early game is over. We have now completed the first half. That does not mean that it's going to take 5 episodes for the second half. It's going to take much longer for that, actually. I'm convinced of that. We're going to go talk to a new NPC. Talk to another NPC down here. real quick. If we can just go down here, there we go. Talk to Oswald. This is let's talk to him. This is Oswald of Kareem. He's the other guy who's from Kareem I was talking about. This guy is a shifty guy, and I believe it deals with his symbolism is the corrupt church of the medieval era, and how you would have to pay to be absolved of your sins. Also, he has some very interesting items associated with Kareem, like not the Book of the Guilty. It's I think it was Karmic Justice. He has a purging stone, which explains the fact that you can, unless without the help of the gods, you cannot get rid of a curse, but you can transfer it to somebody else. So, like, you can use somebody else. You can basically transfer it. That's all you can really do. You can't really actually get rid of a curse. So, there's no true way to, as a human, get rid of it. But a god could. But you need a purging stone, which is basically a part of somebody's body, to transfer the curse to. If I would stop looking at this purging stone, as I've just... Oh, yeah. Also, it was created by the Sir Earl Arstor of Kareem, who is another interesting figure. Karmic Justice. It's very interesting that a lot of Kareem is associated with Velka. And I think I'll talk about more about that next episode, but all the Velka related things you can get are from Kareem, basically. And that is my phone interrupting me at the last possible second. My home phone it is. But shut up, phone. Are you done now, phone? Thank you. So anyways, it's almost over. Okay, so yeah, I'm talking about Velka, goddess of sin, and it. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, phone! Shut up, phone! Jesus, I'm not cutting that out. I can't cut out that audio, so I'm actually very vulnerable when it comes to like people walking in. I'd have to start over if like what would it be like that. I'd have to start over if I was annoyed by that, if I had to like do anything like that. But anyways, it's not that big of a deal. We're just gonna continue on. But anyways, you can also learn a gesture from him. It's most people's favorite gesture in the game. It's the what is it gesture, but I'm not picking it up because I don't know why. Can I please just figure out that we don't care anymore? Okay, this is the Book of the Guilty. I think we'll explain this. Interesting thing. Velka decides what sin is. And I find that very, very interesting because even though most gods and goddesses in mythology are actually not perfect, they don't really have a great understanding of everything in the world. And part of that is because they're supposed to be sort of like split personalities. They don't all understand everything. They understand their domain mostly, but they're really not perfect. So it's sort of like if you compare Velka to a human, why does she get to decide what a sin is? Like abandoning a covenant is a sin, and whatever, and murder is especially a sin, of course. But why does she get to decide that? Okay, well, anyways, the video is almost over because narration. But anyways, at this point, I'm trying to figure out where my what is it animation is. But if for now, we'll talk about this later in the next video, sometime later. But for now, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.